My Life Between Lives story from Newton-trained Institute practitioners.
I see a whole change in the thrust of searching for answers about who we are and why we're here. And I think it's wonderful, and I just hope the movement continues to expand.
Let us expand the universal consciousness together with a My Life Between Lives story presented by the Michael Newton Institute.
Wonderful how you put when you mention psychology. Psychology teach people how to live with their problem. Now, in your professional medical as a doctor profession, in that experience, could you use one sentence to describe the different healing method in terms of prescribing medication, acupuncture, and kinesiologist, or any and also other different method that you have used? If you could use one sentence to summarize what they actually do versus what past life and LBL as well as your quantum consciousness, that would be greatly helpful.
Wow, that's a big question to bring this into a one sentence form. I think it is not. I would not say this in general because psychology is not limited to that. I mean, there are beautiful psychologists who are really helpful for people and who help them to not only to live with a problem, but I mean, it's like it appears something like that, but there are people, let me say it like this, people are different and they are in a different awareness and they have different access to themselves and different view, different perspective on themselves. There are people who are really happy with simply, like when they feel a headache, simply going to the doctor and get some chemical treatment to get rid of the pain. Medicine, like the physical treatment part, is really helpful for those people, but it's simply the view on one part, like simply the view on the physical aspects, right? When you go a little further or deeper, when you use acupuncture, you see the human, you started to see the human with more aspects, and the treatment does not stop with the physical things. And acupuncture is a part of a philosophy, and you treat the being in a more holistic way. It is beautiful, but it is still limited because you look for the connection between psyche, energy, and physical aspects. And with this beautiful philosophy of acupuncture, you can treat more aspects of the being. And when you go to hypnotherapy, you help the client not only to understand how psyche is working, how psyche is functioning, but you take in an aspect which is already more linked to the bigger self and the bigger aspects. Or how do you say this in English? Please excuse my English word is lacking for this. You started to expand your perspective, right? Hypnotherapy helps a lot with ego states, helps a lot with trauma experience, but it still stays with this existence in this body. When you start to work spiritually, this is expansion into something bigger. It is like from the inside to the outside to the most or best possible way of simply healing in a more profound way, in a way that really is healing. The other aspects are healing parts, but this is healing the whole. and it has an impact not only on this one form I'm having the contact with in my office. As I said before, it has an impact or an effect on the multidimensional aspects. I cannot put it in single sentence. It's a hard way to just put all those aspects into one sentence. I don't know if that makes sense. I said.
You're doing perfect. Thank you so much. I guess what you were trying to say is it's more comprehensive or more wholeness sort of a way to cover all different layers. It helps the individual energy to merge into this unity energy, this consciousness. Therefore, when you merge into that infinite wisdom, you are able to access the information, the stories, the knowledge about your past, present, future. I mean, they all come into one. When we are in that transcended state, there's no time, and everything is within your reach. Everything happens here and now through different dimensions, if we may say that.
Exactly.
And that infusion of that permeating energy from higher consciousness, simply what I sense, the infusion of higher consciousness simply absorb the egoistic energy.
Right. So when you take your decision as the consciousness you are to incarnate in a human form or whatever other form, because we have other experiences in other bodies, in other lifetimes, in other dimensions, we have to as a soul, as the consciousness that we are, we have to learn and to know how this physical body is functioning. I would say it like this: there must be a difference of a human body compared to another being from another dimension, which we nowadays call a traveler soul. Like when we are a traveler, we are not in this human form. We incarnate in another being, in another entity. So in this other entity, there are other ways of functioning of this organism we're in. And here in a human form, we have this world. We have a high dense, very dense energy, or not very high, lower energy. So we have experience as a soul. We are as a traveler. We have experiences in other bodies, in other dimensions with other systems, other functioning, other physics or physical aspects. So simply, to bring it back to the human form, as a soul, we have to cooperate with what we find. So there are aspects which belong to this world, to this technology, to this to this time we're living in. So we have to bring it back to your question about like medicine. We have this medical system here, which is evolving as well. So up to now, we are still using more chemical approach to the physical aspects here as humans, but we can observe a shift with that as well. We can observe that there are more people who focus on treating in a more energetical way, who take in alternative treatment methods. So this is like old wisdom, always been there, but it has to develop, and in the moment it develops. So I mean, you know what I mean. We have this soul state going into this human body, and at every time we have different aspects we have to work with. There are people living here who are, as I said before, who are pretty satisfied with treatment on a physical way. There are people who want to have some broader, some wider view on themselves. They are looking for more energetical treatment, and so on. This is we decided to be here in this body, so we decided on one side we decided, or for one aspect we decided to deal with all those like human or limited or whatever aspects, but we are here for the reason, for more reason, to help develop the aspects into something more, like more helpful, something more with more love, with more taking in more the energetical aspects which are following universal rules. Like, so we're here to help to evolve and develop those things.
Beautiful sharing. Thank you very much. Do you think that energy healing can overtake medicine in the future?
I can share, maybe I can share a beautiful experience with this, because I personally had to have a hip joint surgery in January of this year. And I prepared myself I went to in this state of expansion where I had access to all my multi-dimensional aspects. And I invited forward all those aspects who felt a resonance with my intention. And my intention was, my self-healing mirrors my unlimited possibilities. And what came forward was, I will put the focus on that. There came other aspects as well, but I would like to answer your question. There came forward an incarnation of the future, which was me in 200 years later. It was a man, and he was a healer, a doctor as well. And he said, okay, I come from the future. I'm 200 years later than you, and I'm here to bring you my expertise, to help you to heal yourself after the surgery in an energetical way. Because he said, in the time I'm living in, we simply it is normal for us to use this as a treatment, energetical healing. So that was really beautiful. So yes, I'm convinced that energetical healing will be normal. We will live the future where energetical healing is maybe overtakes this limited chemical or physical approach to the body. Yes, I'm convinced. And I know.
That's wonderful here, and you personally has experienced this profound healing through an energetic session. May we ask, did you have the surgery already, or did the energetic healing actually prevent the surgery?
No, it did not, because I have from the beginning of my lifetime, I have a problem with my hips, and it was I have arthrosis in both hips, and it was like everything I did in the past with acupuncture and everything did not help in that way that I could avoid an implantation of artificial hip joint. So I had this, but I knew, and it was planned, and it was like 1 or 2 days before the surgery that I made this own preparing, my mental preparation for what's going to happen. And I knew that with this special way of surgery, I knew that right after the surgery, I had to put all my weight on the leg, and I could walk, and it was like, but after the surgery, normally you have pain, and I did not want to take a lot of chemical anesthetics.
Anesthetics, yes.
Yes, not anesthetics, analgesics are like treating the pain after the surgery. So what happened was I had some other guys. I had one who came from an incarnation that came from another dimension. It was kind of robot being. And he said, okay, and I'm coming from another planet. And here where I come from, it is like, this is our treatment. We treat energetically. So it did not avoid or prevent to it did not I could not avoid the surgery, but what happened was our energies merged and they were helping me with their expertise, with their ways of treating, which led to the aspect that almost I did not have to take energetics at all. I only took, like, on the day of the surgery, on the following day, I had to take like a little amount of not very
Painkiller.
high doses or high dose medicine. So I was able to walk with a really, really low level of pain. And the healing was perfect. I had no swelling. I had no, like, literally hardly problems after the surgery. So what they brought to me was the expertise of self-healing, not healing the arthrosis as the main problem, which had to be treated with the surgery, but they helped me to literally like give me the experience of my unlimited possibilities to heal after what had to be done, you know. So I could walk like right after the surgery with a little level of low level of pain, and I had not. There was no need of big treatments after that, like physiotherapy or something. So that was really amazing.
That was beautiful. So it seems like the other entities, say the two other layers of you from different
Yeah.
dimensions, that they assisted with the healing, or they perhaps also assisted with the operation, if we may say.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. You
Right,
can
this
say that.
this magical thing, this healing happens, and in an energetic way that we don't see it, but we could feel the outcome. We could see the difference. The body now is more mobile. The recovery is so speed. There was no side effects or whatsoever. That the body does not need a lot of medication. All number of things happening to you.
Yeah, exactly. That was really amazing and beautiful because although I've not been able to like reduce or eliminate the arthrosis problem with the result that maybe the surgery would not have been necessary. So maybe in another lifetime I will be able to do that as well. But anyways, it was a beautiful experience because I said to myself, I want to live what I'm working. I'm going this one step ahead of my clients because I hold the knowing for them. I don't only tell them what they can rely on and what is there for them to help because I know it is, and I hold the knowing for them, and it's so amazing, this experience, because I on my with my own body I felt the result of this work.
That's wonderful to hear. We have many therapists that I interviewed or I spoke with before. Some of them have this remarkable magic healing that medical science cannot explain. There's no reason for this magic healing for lupus to be healed properly, to be
Yeah.
fully cleared, and it's a impossible with the medical science technology or
Yeah.
knowledge that the doctors currently
Yeah.
have to address any of these complex immune. That's one immune system disease.
Exactly, and I can add that although I could not treat mentally my arthrosis problem, I look back on clients, experience with clients, I mean, it's not a promise, and I won't promise this to every client that comes to me, but actually I had clients who were able to get rid of cancer, for example, or get rid of allergies, get rid of other physical aspects by this not only mental but spiritual way of healing, right? So this is it's the most amazing. I feel humbled, and I feel like it's not only a pleasure, it's an honor, because what I experience is that I cooperate with the spiritual realm. I mean, it's not me that is doing the healing to the client. I'm only the one who opens the door for them to get the connection with their spiritual helpers and their spiritual guides and their own multidimensional aspects. When they connect to that, this is where the healing starts. So this is a really, really amazing and the most beautiful work. I feel honored to be part of this cooperation with spiritual guides and spiritual entities, you know.
Thank you for sharing your beautiful experience of healing.